If you missed it, I reviewed 10 bug sprays this summer because I'm living in land of the mosquito, Minnesota. Everyone, even the locals here, joke around that the mosquito is actually the state bird of Minnesota. So with mosquitoes come mosquito bites. And no matter what you put on your body, no matter what you put in your clothes, the mosquitoes will still bite you. They don't care about DEET, they don't care about permethrin, they don't even care if you're staying inside fully clothed. They will bite through your clothes. They will find a way into your home. Tell that I'm a little traumatized by the experience. After all of these mosquito bites, I've also tested not 1, not 2, but 6 different anti-itch treatments. All have pros and cons, they all have very different packaging. One of them is even homemade. So let's talk about it today. All of these different eco-friendly bug bite reliefs. Hello everyone, it's Emma and welcome back to my channel where we talk about all sorts of things zero waste, focusing on free, easy, and fun ways to live low waste. If I talk a little bit too fast for you, great news, YouTube has a little gear icon right here. You can change the speed of the video to whatever suits you best, because unfortunately I can't cater to everybody and this is just how I talk. The first one is this one from Green Goo. I tried this when we lived in Okinawa, Japan, and I bought this mostly for, it's like a first aid balm. It's used for everything. Now we did get a couple, I don't even know if they were mosquitoes, but we got some bug bites towards the end of our time in Okinawa in like May, June 2021. And I still had some left over when we moved to Vegas. And when we moved to Vegas, we did a little bit of backpacking here and there where there were like a couple mosquitoes. But because I had been removed from mosquitoes for like 3 or 4 years, I thought they were terrible. In hindsight, it was nothing compared to what it is up here. This first aid balm is amazing. I love that it comes in a tin. I love that it works for everything, not just mosquito bites. I love that it does work for mosquito bites. But some cons to this one, it's pretty expensive, as well as it's really, really oily. Now, despite the price, it does come in, I think it's like a 1 ounce container, and it literally lasted me 4+ years. I also love this metal tin because it is fully recyclable or reusable, and it made it great for any sort of activity, hiking, backpacking, because it didn't leak. Now, the issue with tins, this is a different brand, is they do swell in heat. So when I was backpacking or hiking in Vegas when it was hot, it did make it hard to open when I was out on the trail, but very sturdy metal tins, they don't leak. As you'll see, that's a problem with some of these other brands. So I really liked Green Goo, but not my absolute favorite. I say we give Green Goo, for Green Goo, let's give it a 7.5 out of 10. It worked. It's eco-friendly, but it's pretty expensive and pretty oily. Next is this one from Backcountry Botanicals. I got this when I was in Utah. I did a course with NOLS, the National Outdoor Leadership School, and there was a cute little store in town that sold like a whole bunch of like natural remedies and backpacking gear, and I found this. Even though I don't live in an area with mosquitoes, I bought it anyway. And how could you not? Cute little container, handmade, small business, and I like the spray version. This is our only spray version that we're gonna get. So here's what it looks like in action. So it's not really quite like a mist, it's more of like a stream. And then here's what it looks like on. This one is also pretty oily. That's gonna be the common theme, honestly, with a lot of these, so be careful not to get any of these on your clothes. And a little goes a long way with this one. It smells really nice. It's made from juniper, which I love. That's probably why I got it, because I love juniper. But unfortunately, it doesn't work that well. This was the only one I had when we first got here and the mosquitoes first started coming out. So I used this almost exclusively in May, even into early June. It really doesn't work. June was so bad for mosquitoes. I would literally like not even be fully awake, still sleeping, scratching my mosquito bites on my legs. I would wake up just enough to reach for this. I keep this one by my bed, spray some on my leg, rub it in, try to fall back asleep. Instantly they're itchy again. So this one really does not work. It's really, really oily, but I love the packaging. I love the design. I love the business, but effectiveness, not great. Here's the price and the price per ounce for this one. Would I try something else from this business? Absolutely. But would I buy this product again? Probably not. And you know, perhaps it is because it's 2 years old. Maybe it's just getting to the end of its life. Maybe it works better if it's fresh. I'll have to go check out some reviews on their website to see what other people think. I think I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 10. Moving on from there is Kinfield. I love Kinfield as a whole, as a brand. I reviewed their sunscreen. You can check out my sunscreen review up here. And this is our only one in cardboard. As you can see, it's kind of like a cardboard toothpaste or deodorant, a little tube. You pop the top off, and there you go. You push it up with your finger, and this right here is what you rub on your body. I love the smell of this one, and this one's probably also, besides the homemade one, our only one that's not oily. So this one, you don't have to really worry about getting it on your clothes. I've got an itchy mosquito bite right here on my wrist. It's not really a good spot for you to see. But you just rub it on like that. It's nice and melty. It's kind of like a lotion bar. That's what I would associate it with. I find this one works really, really well. I wouldn't say it's like 100% effective. There are some times where it's really, really itchy and this won't do the trick. But for the average mosquito bite, I think this works really, really well. Love how compact it is. Love that it's fully recyclable or compostable. And yeah, the size, it's not going to melt because it's solid. It's great for hiking, backpacking, or in the house. And this has lasted forever. I have 2 of these, but Kinfield sent this to me, potentially in Vegas. Maybe Spokane. So this is at least a year and a half old, if not more. And I've only used half of it. Granted, I really only started using it here this summer. But wow, I love this one from Kinfield. Very eco-friendly. They are also cruelty-free, vegan, 1% for the planet, small business, woman-owned business. Love Kinfield as a whole. Love this product. And apparently everyone else loves this product too, because when I reached out to them and was like, hey, can I get some more of this? They said they were sold out. Popular item. Is it my absolute favorite? Honestly, it might be. And it really comes down to the oiliness. A lot of these other ones are just as effective, but they're just so oily, which makes me really nervous with my clothes. I've gotten oil on my clothes enough that when I use an oily product, whether that be sunscreen, lotion, bug itch relief, bug spray, I have to mark it down for that because it can stain your clothes, and oil stains are difficult to get out, meaning it could potentially ruin your clothes. And I don't love that as an eco aspect. I think this might be my favorite. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. It's not perfect because it doesn't work 100% of the time, but pretty close. These were the only 2 that I had in June. In June, the mosquitoes were so bad, I almost left the state. I'm not even joking. I almost moved. And I was desperate. While I waited for some of these other brands to arrive in the mail, I was like, I need something better now. What can I use? Homemade remedy? And the internet said, not even just the internet, I think this is like the CDC, a paste of baking soda and water. That is it. It's disgusting. I'm not gonna lie. It's very yucky to put on my body. It dries and it flakes off. But effectiveness, that is the most effective bug itch relief I have ever tried in my life. And it's 2 ingredients. 2 ingredients you have at home. Baking soda comes in paper, which is fully recyclable or compostable, and it costs like $1 a box. This one is easily the most affordable. Love this budget option. It's low waste. It's good for your body, or not bad for your body, unless you're sensitive to baking soda. So here's what it looks like on. I'm just gonna keep putting it all on this same mosquito bite because it's still a little bit itchy. I find that the thicker you put it on, the better it works. And a lot of these, like, you know, the Kinfield one, the other ones we're gonna talk about soon, they work, but it kind of takes a couple minutes for it to kick in. This baking soda, I'm not even kidding you, the itchiness is already gone. And then the itching will stay gone all day. It is fantastic. It's not cute to walk around with this baking soda blob on my hand and it dries and it flakes and it's crusty. It works so well and it's so cheap. It's so eco. So this one, huge pros, but there's also some huge cons with this, being that you can't travel with this. I mean, I suppose you could, like if you had an empty tin container, you could throw some in a container with you and, you know, take it backpacking or whatever. But it's not easy to travel with. It's very messy. It's a little bit gross to apply, and it solidifies really quickly, even in this humid environment. So like if you did want to make your own and put it in this tin, it's not really that effective because you would have to carry like a little spoon or a spatula, add some water and keep mixing it up, or else it'll turn completely solid in like a day or 2. It's a really great option for at home, not a great option for traveling. That paired with how, you know, it's not the most aesthetically pleasing to use. It's not the most, you know, physically pleasing to use. I do have to mark it down for that, but man, the most effective, the most cost effective. I'm gonna give it a 9 out of 10. Okay, next up we have 2 that are very similar. We've got this one from Beacon Mercantile and this one from the Refill Shop. You might recognize these brands. Both of these brands also have bug spray, so does Kinfield. But these 2 I tested for my bug spray review video. Here we have them. They are both rollers. They both come in glass. They both have little plastic lids and they both roll on. The label on the one from Beacon Mercantile kind of fell off. You can kind of see it separating right there. So this one kind of needs a little bit of a shake, and then you apply it. You take your roller ball. Oh, did you see that drip? This one leaks. And that's just a common thing that I've seen with these roller ball containers. Leak really badly, which I do not love. This one is also very strongly scented. Not bad, but very strong. But it works really well. I think the packaging is really cute. I love the product. I love how well it works. But the leakiness, and it's a little on the oily side. It's not nearly as oily as some of the other ones. But I do find myself reaching for this a lot. It is effective. I've used it in the home. I've taken it backpacking with me. If you put the lid on tight enough, it won't leak in your bag, but it still makes me nervous. I'm gonna go ahead and give this one an 8 out of 10 for, you know, all of those pros and all of those cons combined. Now, Beacon Mercantile, very similar. It's got a cap, it's got a little screwball. Put it on this hand. This one, though, I find does not leak. Let's test it out. I don't think this one's leaking. Ooh, this one smells so pleasant. It smells like pepperminty, spices. It smells kind of like Christmas. A little on the oily side. Can you see me shine? Like Edward? Also, here's an update on the baking soda. See what I mean? It's just kind of crusty. So if I had to choose a container for one of these rolly ones, it would be this one. This one does not leak. I also like that it's more compact. It's a little more travel friendly, a little more backpacking friendly. But this one I find is not that effective. This one is usually one that I'll put on, I'll give it a couple minutes, the mosquito bite still itches, and then I end up putting the baking soda over top of it. So maybe that's like the combo, is using some herbs and the baking soda. I still use it, I still reach for it, but it's not gonna stop the mosquito bite instantly. This one works better, but this one doesn't leak. I like the packaging of this one better. Maybe I'll give this one a 7.5 out of 10. Tie it with green goo. And lastly for the day is Butter Me Up Organics. I love them as a brand. I tried their sunscreen in my first sunscreen review video, which you can check out up here. But I love this little tin. This is their only one in tin. It's very, very similar to green goo in that it comes in a container and it's like just a oily balm. It's kind of like a lotion. Here's what it looks like. It's green. The green kind of threw me off, not gonna lie. It's a little solid. I wish it was a little softer, but honestly, like if you just warm it up with your fingers, it gets liquidy enough that you can easily apply it to your mosquito bites. Something I never thought would happen is it does give you a little bit of a green cast. So you get white cast with sunscreen. This does give you a little bit of a green cast. Does my arm look green? I don't think so. Look how shiny though. So with this one, again, beware of your clothing. I really like the smell of this one because it's very neutral. These two smell so strong. So if you're sensitive to smells like I am, perhaps avoid those. Yeah, so it has a couple things that are scented, but it's very, very minimal scent. So I do really like that. Love the container that's fully reusable or recyclable. It's great to throw in a bag. I don't have to worry about it leaking. I haven't used this on a very hot day, so I'm not sure if it would melt in here. So like you might have to be careful when you open it if you're opening it, if you're carrying it with you on a hot day. And it worked almost instantly. Not nearly as good as the baking soda, but out of the rest of these like commercially purchased ones, I would say it works really, really fast. I love it. It's effective. It works. I love the packaging. I love the brand, but it's really oily. And that again does make me very nervous for my clothing, the longevity of my clothing. I like that it's hydrating, of course, but oiliness just makes me nervous with my clothing. In Butter Me Up Organics, it's gonna get a 9 out of 10. So the final rankings, last place by far is Backcountry Botanicals. Love the packaging, love the business, but man, this doesn't work at all on mosquito bites. Again, it could just be that it's becoming a little bit expired. Maybe I need to try a new batch. I don't ever remember this working, and that's probably why I forgot about it until this summer. After that is the Beacon Mercantile little stick. Again, really not that effective. More effective than Backcountry Botanicals. I love the packaging, I love how compact it is, but it doesn't work that great. After that is green goo. Again, it works well as a first aid balm, but I don't really recall it working terribly well as a anti-itch for bug bites. But again, I would have to give it a fair review and try it again, since it has been a couple years since I've used it. Next with 8 points is the Refill Shop. Love how effective it is, love the business, but I don't really like that it separates, that it leaks, and that it's a little bit bigger than the rest of them. Does it work? Yes, but would I buy it again? Probably not. In second place, we have a tie for Butter Me Up Organics and the baking soda and water, the homemade option. I love this one because it's something that I can just buy. It's something that's already pre-made. It's compact, it's great for traveling, it works really, really well, but it's a little bit too oily for my taste. The baking soda and water, I love how affordable it is, I love how accessible it is, and I love how well it works. This one works the best out of all of them, but it's not conducive for traveling. It's really only great to use in the home, and it's just really, really crusty. And that leaves first place to Kinfield. I love that it's not oily, it's compact, it's recyclable, it's compostable. It works really, really well. It's great for travel, it's great for at home, it's hydrating, it goes on well. I have so many good things to say about Kinfield. But thanks to Kinfield, Butter Me Up Organics, and the baking soda, I've been as itch-free as I possibly could in northern Minnesota, where the mosquitoes are so bad. I will never forget these mosquitoes. I will never forget the summer of the mosquitoes. And just a tip, if you want to visit northern Minnesota, particularly Voyageurs National Park, August is your time. I'm filming this in late July, and only just this week are the mosquitoes finally starting to die down. Our visitors are still like, oh my gosh, the mosquitoes are terrible. And I'm just like, I'm vibing. Should have seen the mosquitoes 3 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. It's been 2 whole months of mosquitoes. Finally, at the end of July, they're finally dying off. August should be much better. Also weather-wise, do not recommend coming to Voyageurs in June or early July. The mosquitoes are miserable. They truly did kind of ruin the beginning of the summer for me. Thankfully, I still have the last half of my summer to enjoy. Not necessarily bug-free, but fewer bugs. Also, just for transparency, this is the only one I purchased. The rest of these were sent to me, so thank you to all of these brands for sending me these samples. Brands sending me these samples make videos like these possible without me having to spend tens and hundreds of dollars. More valuable for you that I can compare several different brands head-to-head instead of just one at a time. That way you can gauge which ones are the best, what are the pros and cons of each of these, what do all of these look and feel like. And I hope that you found some value in this video, especially if you live somewhere buggy like me. If you're seeing this video and you're like, I want to have more zero waste swaps for the summer. As I already mentioned, I do have 2 different sunscreen reviews, and a bug spray review, all eco-friendly. You can check them out down below and above. Like I did in this video, I like to review like 4 to 6 brands of the same product being mosquito itch relief, and compare them head to head, eco-friendliness, effectiveness, price, etc. I already know that I'm going to be having a deodorant review part 2 coming up. If I have more cards, you can check out deodorant review number 1 right here. So part 2 is coming probably in October because I do need a couple weeks to test them all. But if there are any other brand reviews you want to see this year, next year, whenever, let me know. You can check out the full brand review playlist down below as well. And thank you for watching. I really appreciate your time, especially if you made it all the way to the end. I hope that you found some value in this, and I hope that these help you remain itch-free in the future, because hopefully for you, the bugs are also dying, unless you're in the Southern Hemisphere. But as always, as well, use what you already have. If you already have a non-eco-friendly bug itch relief at home, use all of that first. That's the most eco-friendly thing that you can do. Once that is out, opt for one of these eco options or more. There are plenty of more eco-friendly bug itch relief remedies that I found on the internet that I just didn't include in this video. Perhaps I can make a part 2 next summer. Hopefully there's no mosquitoes next summer. Please be no mosquitoes in California. And when it does come time to buy a new bug itch relief, whether you choose one of these brands or a different brand, I do often include affiliate links in my videos. They cost nothing extra for you to use, but the brand does give me a small commission for referring you to their business. Using that affiliate link helps give me a little bit of money and helps keep videos like this free for you. That is all that I have for today. Thank you so much for watching again. I appreciate it. I will see you in the next video, but until then, remember that your small actions make a big difference in the long run. Bye, guys.
My roots are so outgrown. I don't like it.
Actually, we're gonna start all this over again.